Hi, we're going to talk a little bit today about My White and the operating procedures associated with specific statuses. Today, we're going to talk specifically about prospects and close. So let's start a little bit with the close prospects. So there are three actions we're going to take place to move the database, okay? Reason being is we want to have a lot of interaction on our database. So how we do that, we think we have three specific actions we take place in. First, we do a generic search. We do that so that we have a lot of action on our on our website. In addition to that, we assign a campaign. So maybe we have a buyer's campaign, a seller's campaign, or even an open house campaign. We do that to engage activity on the website itself, which thus moves into the database. In addition to that, as prospects respond to content, we're encouraging you to manually add a hashtag saying active, call them actually engaged prospects, or some people put active prospects, either of the two. The reason why you want to do that is you want to be able to keep filtering your engaged prospects so you can keep reaching out to them more quickly. Second status that we're talking about is closed. Okay, so first we're going to, once your client has closed, we are going to create a map search area for the neighborhood where they purchased. Okay, reason being, we're going to set that ASAP. Okay, the reason why we want to do that is it pretty much lets them know what's going on in the neighborhood, so they're pretty familiar what the market is doing in that particular area. The second one is we're going to set up a listing valuation report. Reason being, again, they'll know what the property of their house is. It also, when we do that, it keeps us top of mind with them. In addition to that, we add a birthday to the profile, and we do it as to whether we're going to text or email. That just is another touch point for us to be able to reach out to our clients. We find them on social media. That's a big one. The reason being is, again, we want to make sure that they see us in the status of a real estate agent. So if they have any referrals, they'd be sure to use us as a referral. In addition to that, we set up tasks to call them 1 month after closing. We call and say, hey, what's going on? Just making sure everything's okay. At that period, I like to send we send the review me template. That's very important. You do want to have a lot of reviews. The more positive reviews you have on your website, the more engaged and more confident someone will be to use you as an agent. In addition to that, we're going to set a hashtag. The hashtag is going to be past client underscore. And then you insert the year. You could also do an underscore and insert the city. Reason why we do that is we want to drill down specifically when it comes to city. Maybe in 5 years, you may have a client that's looking at a particular area. You may have a buyer. So what you may do is choose that particular city. You can go back and say past client underscore, whatever the year is, and you can do a few of them, and then you put in that city, and that will show where your clients are living right now. And maybe there's a particular client in there that may be considering selling their house. Maybe it's been 5 years, they're ready to move. What you can do is do a touch point with them and just say, hey, I have a buyer, just wondering how everything's going in the market and how the house, have you considered selling? Do you have any interest at all in selling? Lastly, we fill in location and price for their new home to allow for future matchmaker opportunities. So again, you put that in there so that down the line, we can match buyers to them. So the buyer's matchmaking, which is part of our listings, they'll be in there. So if we see our particular person, our past client in there, and we hit a buyer's matchmaking, that's another way that we can go back in and say, hey, let me go call this past client, see if they're still happy in their home or if they have any interest either in upsizing or downsizing. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Thanks.